for. As there's going to be more of these, which is exciting. But here we go. VP. They're going to be kicking things off on the T side of Train. SK over on that CT side. Looking at the utility that's been brought up. VP, they've gone quite heavy on this. You can see Neo and Pasha both sacrificing the armor to grab some utility. Pasha's got himself a P250 as well. And over on the side of SK, it's only Fallen foregoing the armor so that he can get that diffuse kit and the smoke.
So all we're seeing right now is pretty much VP just setting up in their default. We saw this yesterday in the 14-16, and we saw it as well against Envious as Snacks picks up the first one. That's Phelps going down, perhaps a bit too aggressive, overextending himself into the position of Snacks, and Snacks is not going to let that fly. Picks up the USP as well, and now a big advantage for the Polish guys.
Yeah, man advantage up here for VP. Exactly the start that they would want. coldzera starting to push on up towards Aiming. Just going to be holding over there behind D-Box, has cover. In case they do decide to push out from Popdog and VP, they're taking this very slowly now. They found that initial frag and they're not too keen to go and get traded, lose that man advantage. Instead, going to be holding this default, waiting to see if anyone from SK goes aggressive.
So right now what VP are doing, which is incredibly smart, is that they're going towards the Ivy push. They know that they already killed one outside, so they know that coldzera usually holds his position where he holds Popdog. Fallen now has to hold T main and Ivy at the same time. That means Fallen has to rotate back and forth from these positions, leaves him very vulnerable, and that's the entry for them. coldzera though will pick up Snacks, and now comes the push onto Ivy. coldzera with another one, just holding down the position perfect.
Yeah, coldzera going to get tagged in the chest there, as you can see in the bottom left, the little iRobot man. But no, Frank's going back and forth. Pasha's the last man left in a 1v3. SK will be able to turn that round on its head, in spite, the best efforts from a VP. They find the man advantage, but then it leads to nothing, after that.
It's always hard. Like, if you go out to outside and coldzera is your stand, he just instantly pops to you, like, straight up 2 kills for coldzera. And then Fallen, of course, focusing on that area, rotating back towards the side where he can hold a more advantageous position with that USPS. He gets 2 frags as well, so it's very hard to win a pistol round if you don't win the individual duels, apart from the first one that gives them the man advantage. So, strat's all in good, but if you can't hit the headshots, then you won't win any rounds. VP investing, I think they invested into a scout here. Yep, it's on the floor right now, so we can't really see it on them. We are in a bit of a pause. We'll jump straight back into the game, no worries. And SMGs for SK.
And now VP, they have armor up on Taz and Pasha. Scout for Pasha they're throwing on over. It was Snacks who had it, but he's going to go in with just the Deeg. And for Pasha, he was on fire yesterday. He's got to try and replicate that form once again. SK, of course, their toughest opponent yet. They're going to be waiting down here towards Ivy. It's Bialy and Pasha lying in wait. coldzera is the man on the other side.
Yeah, right now they're playing for aggressive Popdog and then Fallen. Quick rotate and ZZ connector. Taco's right now alone on the B bomb side, which is a fairly standard way of playing this anti-eco. You know your opponent's not going to have much utility, they're not going to have much firepower in the weaponry as well, so you can afford to play an early round, be alone. But then when the time comes in and you know, okay, SK Gaming might hit a coordinate strike on B now, then Fur rotates inside. So Taco has the first 45 seconds alone, and then gets help afterwards. Right now, VP still setting up, hasn't really shown all the cards yet. Looks like they're rotating towards Ivy again to go for kind of the same push, but with more emphasis on Ivy instead of T-main and Popdog than they did in the pistol round.
Oh, but there's Bialy to open. Down goes coldzera. Man advantage once again up for VP, and this time SK, they've got SMGs to try and answer back. We saw them win it out in pistols. They've got to try and do it once again. Phelps takes the duel with Neo. Doesn't find anything. Shots rallying past from behind, but he keeps his cool, goes in, but he's going to be tagged extremely low. Taz is able to find the frag, and now Fallen with that scout, able to dink Pasha down, goes in for more. He's only got a USP, but somehow Fallen going to come in with 3. Now it is just Neo left. 1v2 in that round will be eluding VP. My throw is not ready for that much excitement early on. Fallen, you're blowing my... I can't say that. Can't say that one. That's the line I can't say.
You're on vacation, you can say pretty much whatever you
Yeah,
want.
but you can't just steal. I didn't even mean to steal a line there. Just it nearly happened regardless. Look at that.
last
Fallen
one.
was unreal,
That's-
yeah.
Yeah, that's next level stuff.
People already think for some reason I sound like Machine. I can't just start then taking his lines as well. Here we go anyway, into round number 3. No money for VP into this one. Might have a PT50 up on Neo. Bialy actually with the Deeg as well. So have a little bit to try and work with. Taz has that one flash. The aggression going to come in from Fur.
That's what they're talking about on the desk, these aggressive pushes from Fur. Has really received some criticism for it. Here we go. See if he can make it happen. As he rotates back into the double stack. Picks up one on the way. And just holds the position.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. Bialy with the deagle there.
Fur's going to get removed off the face of the earth. And actually, Taco's been tagged low as well. Rotates back into the site. Cold just going to be holding off top. Taz slowly worms down the ladder. He's going to go ahead and join the pile of bodies that resides at the bottom. They managed to put it back into a 3-on-3. Now, VP stacked outside this B-bomb site. They've done decent damage. They're going to start to push on in. Fallen, he's the man to try and keep them at bay. Smoke's going to start to dissipate, and then we should see VP try and commit to this one. There is going to be a man holding it from a distance. That's Taco.
Cold Serious holding a flank behind. So SK Gaming are pretty ready. No, they're not. Neo takes down Fallen. Now Taco has to rotate in with the scout and at least secure one frag. I'll take the timer down, but nope, that won't be the case. 2v3 retake and make that 2v1.
Now it's just Cold.
Yep.
1v3, has 2 flashes to try and work with here. Starts to make his way on in, has to watch out as Neo resides up on that ladder just to the left. He comes over, Cold doesn't see it, really confused, and Neo finds the frag. That's going to be VP. They come so close in those first 2 rounds, and now they make it theirs in round number 3. Money going to be very limited here for SK.
Not really the round we expect VP to get that win in, but make it happen nonetheless. A 3-man inside push gets them the victory. And now, 4 rifles, 1 MP45 for VP, while it's a force buy on SK Gaming. Fallen saving a bit of money into the next round so he can get an AWP in the next buy. But it's 3 pistols for the Brazilians. Oh, and there's the use of a pistol for you. Cold Zero takes down Pasha. Easy peasy. And now a 5 versus 4 situation, but still weapons advantage for VP.
SK, they've got and stacked 4 players out in that A-bomb site. They've left Taco to hold the fort over at B. By the way, can I just say, you know, he's playing with mumps right now. Like, he's a tank of a human being. This guy is, like, you know, very ill. Like, and he's just soldiering through because, you know, SK, they've got games to play. They've got a 3rd place to try and secure a spot in the next ESG Tour that they want to make theirs. And that's not necessarily where they thought they would end up, but it's what they've got left to play for here. And while Bialy is going to try and relegate Fallen down to the grave, which he will. Good night to him. They continue this push out towards A, but Cole's there with the D. Does take 1 before Taz. Quick on the trade. Fur's rotating in. Going to take up the position of Cold Zera. Going to try and push up through the smoke. Taz is just holding it, playing it perfectly, but Fur wins the dual man advantage up for SK now. And Phelps, oh, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place here. One side, Death waits in the form of Neo, on the other it's Snacks, and Neo keeps taking the peeks on in. Snacks has actually bypassed him, so he's been given away on out. If he wants to take it, Neo drops and finds that frag, leaving this all on Taco. 1 versus 2, rotating in through to Connector. Bomb timer ticking away from him here. Player waiting on E-Box. That's going to be Neo, but Taco spotted the arm. Goes for the peak, finds that first frag. Now it's just Snacks left, but Snacks wins it out. And VP, they're going to be in with their 2nd round, albeit by the skin of their teeth. It's already a very close game, Risk.
And look at that from Colt here. He still makes it work. Like, he only has a pistol against the board up T side and still manages to grab 2 kills. Good stuff from him. 2-2, as we discussed earlier. SK Gaming will be saving in this one to buy in the next Fallen with 3K, so he will be on an AWP, or at least have the opportunity of choosing that. map1 on Bialy. Push outside for VP.
He's going to go charging on in. Wants to try and make some cash. Player up above him. USP does not prevail, but it does find decent damage. So he's not looking too healthy now. That confidence that was once bestowed upon him has since vacated. But down goes Phelps. So that's 2 for him now. $1,200 farmed up. Meanwhile, Neo has just been allowed to walk into B. Bomb plant will come in. 3v5. At this point, I don't even think SK are going to bother pushing into this. They don't want to allow, Bialy to make any more money. They want to try and pick him up. They have him isolated over here in main. They're going to try and contend with that. They've got Fur watching it. coldzera's going to be waiting as well down towards Pop for the trade.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how SK Gaming in the next round, what's going to be the buy round, are going to play the inner bomb side. Because so far, Taco has been alone for most of the time on that bomb side. First coming in with the help a little bit. Sometimes with aggressive pushes, sometimes just after 40 seconds. So very curious to see how they decide to go for it, because if VP finds this out, then they'll start to do explosive rushes towards the bomb site to get that map control and get that bomb down before SK Gaming can even get a kill in. This is an interesting one. Fallen, as I said before, picks up the AWP. Everyone will be on M4s, but limited utility. And Fallen without any grenades. On the other side of things, VP have everything they could ask for. Full utility, 8 OVP and Pasha. And focus on taking map control inside, but Taco's there with an AWP. That's a double AWP setup for you. Fallen outside, Taco inside.
Fallen lies in wait, locking down A main, boosted up here in connector. No one from... How'd you take a cheeky swig there, Risk?
Yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm allowed.
Through.
I'm allowed. It's okay.
Getting, as Parlo would say, getting lit. But
as the young ones say these days.
Here we go. Snacks to be rotating background to grab that bomb. Rejoins the rest of the guys as VP. They're grouped up here. Lining up the smokes and flashes for A. Going to go and get them in. They also have Neo lying in wait down in Pop Dog. He can quickly rotate through to try and assist in this offensive. Fallen, he's the man to keep an eye on as they go rushing in. That smoke lands in front of him. One up on the bomb train to render him useless. Has to reposition. Gonna leave the rest of his team fed to the wolves here as Fallen tries to step up. Lands the quick flick out on a Snacks. Still has more work left to do, but will retreat out the site for the time being. Favors staying alive, keeping that man advantage up. Bomb's been dropped as well. Phelps is on the ladder, takes the peek in, jumps around, and Bialy, he's hit the deck as two. What? But now it's just Pasha left. Sentence didn't make a lot of sense. Pasha, 1v4. Bomb dropped with only 15 seconds left. Just going to have to save the AWP here. Fades out the site. And that's going to be SK to answer back with one more. Immediately so. That was what they had to do. Deny VP building up this this buffer early on. Start to chip away at that economy. And most importantly, build up their own. They would have been eco in the next if they didn't pick this up. So they keep 4 alive. They start to get some money rolling. That's the start they needed.
It actually wasn't a bad execute, but it's very hard to get out to the outside A bomb site if you don't win the opening duels. And as we saw Fallen, he was actually pushed into a position where he had to check 2 different angles at the same time. He locks out and checks the right one and then does the nice flick. And that's one thing you can't really account for when you do an execute. That Fallen can actually hit shots like that. Even though he's under a lot of pressure, he's still going to be able to trade 1 for 1 at least, or maybe even more. And if you can't win these duels going into a bomb site, it's very hard to win the round. And especially also when Taco opens up on the inner bomb side, forces them away from his area. Snacks now, ready for it, if Taco wants to peek. Let's see Snacks here. Very patient. Taco pushed back. This time around it's Phelps to join him inside while Fallen is on the Ivy here. Let's see, we're going to see the run boost or the peek or the bait. Coming out from Bialy, we do see the bait. But Fallen takes the shot and then rotates instantly away. He knows that that is the bait play. Very nice game sense from him.
Taco and Phelps, they're the 2 players over at B, but in the blink of an eye, that peek comes out from Snacks, and Taco's been eliminated early on. Now it's just Phelps here. Going to put more pressure on the guys over on A, but Fallen, he's going to step up when they needed him to. Finds that equalizer. Back into a 4-on-4 we go. That said, gonna lose Fur, tries to rotate in to help out on B. Now Phelps, he's the man who tries to step up, finds that first frag. Neo's gonna hit the deck. The bomb has not been allowed to rotate in just yet. Site not quite secure in Snacks. Well, he's already found 2, but he's got to make it 3 as Phelps goes around on the flank. coldzera in the meantime going to get rid of Taz. And actually, he's so close to discovering the location of this bomb. Snacks is heard rotating off. Phelps picks him up. Stellar B hold from him. And now it's just Pasha. 1v2 and Cold quick on the trigger. Makes that one a reality for SK.
And they get to bring both AWPs into the next round as well, because the last 2 remaining VP players were both on ops, which is kind of hard to win a 1v2 or 2v2 in that scenario. Bring that in, get that on Taco, I imagine, and on Fallen as well. And another buy, SK up 4-3. And VP, as you talked about the economy early on, they will be deciding to go for pistols only in this one, and then buying the next. So let's see if they have anything special. It's just going to be another default for the Polish guys. Actually, a bit of pace. Snacks with the bomb towards that inner bomb site. It's Fer and Taco as per usual. This time around, they're stacking 2 players, maybe suspecting an aggressive play towards B, which is the right call. Taco with the AWP, clears upper. That's the bomb gone down as well. And Fer at lower. So this is a pretty good setup for SK to hold back this VP team.
And they first need to try and retrieve that bomb. Taco could just lock it down here. Going to miss the opener, and that's going to provide them with the opportunity to retrieve the bomb that was dropped. Going to lose Neo out on A. At this point, their options are fleeting. 3v5. Going to try and head in 3-pop. Fallen holding the angle. They're going to go waltzing on out. It's actually coldzera to find the first, and VP just running back and forth between these sites. Their numbers dwindling down. Now 2v5. Stepping over the fallen body of their comrades over here in B. Ready to push in. Taco. Oh, spots one. Goes in for flick. Damage being inflicted here. Has to get the hell out of there as they start to push on into the site. Has support from Fer. Should be easy to shut this one down. Pashy, hope he doesn't get too much damage done. Forces out the fallen. He arrives. And that's the team ace to come in from SK. Everyone pulling their weight there.
Really nice. Started to build some economy on that CT side, and as we know, weapons are a bit more expensive on that CT side. You have to buy the kit as well. So nice to see the SK Gaming guys building a bank that can continue on the CT side, continue buying it. You can continue to see these explosive rounds between these 2 teams. Interesting matchup for sure. Passion now with the AWP. Taz lining up the smokes for outside. It's going to be Pasha versus coldzera on the Ivy. Neo trying to make his way down. They are taking 2 players towards Ivy. Once again, it's Bialy and Pasha. AWP and AK combo. And this is pretty much the default passive one for VP. Holding defensive positions. Snacks trying to sniff out if there's any close range CTs. Him and Taz working as a unit. As they do have Neo pushing towards Pop Dog.
Yeah, they're ready to try and make their way in here. coldzera going to be naded back. Tags him down to 77. Continue this aggression in. Snacks has been allowed to work his way down through Old Hell, and no one's actually too wary of this right now. You can see both Phelps and Fallen in the site have their eyes over on main. Snacks can make such a huge difference from this position. They've got no clue that a player's worked out this far. Now they're out through Ivy as well. Phelps is hidden from it, but the barrel's been spotted. Fallen now turns his attention around, but Snacks, he's the man to open shop. Fallen within the site, lands that quick flick in through the wall onto Neo, goes back for more as Fallen. Now he's onto a second. Keeps peeking around, but it's on top of the train. Taz delivers death. Taco lands the leg, but he's been tagged to 8 HP himself. Not looking too healthy here. Finds that first frag. 1v1 now. Taz is 16 HP. Gonna start to work his way around through the smoke. Taco has a vague idea as to what's going on, but Taz clutches that one out. And VP, well, they're going to be in with their 4th round. Look at that shot from Fallen. Immediately takes the re-peek out on it. I think it's onto Pasha. Takes the peek around. Boom. Gets himself a second. Fantastic stuff. He's looking great. You know, that's something that we can take away from this.
Yes. 11-6. Doing quite a good job. Pasha on the other side, the open for VP, 3-6, but Still a long way to go on this one, so Pasha still has the opportunity to redeem himself. Once more, smokes go outside. Flashes as well. For VP. And once again, this is a 4-player CT stack towards A in the beginning of the round. And then, I guess in 30 seconds, someone will rotate in. But if VP hit B bomb site before this timing, Taco's going to be all alone. And I think that's going to be the strategy here. No one has rotated in just yet. Taco's still alone. It's going to be effectively 1v5 on this bomb site.
Yeah, Taco really has to try and work some magic. Takes the first, that will be it. Pasha and Bialy, they're going to answer back with 2 more, but Phelps, he is hot on their heels, and they've got no idea. Pasha, his spidey senses start tingling, pivots on the spot, picks that frag up, and now it's Fur and Fallen left in this one. 2 versus 4. Bialy might offer some compensation, but no. Fallen now wants to try and hold on to the orb. Bialy's going to come hunting. Very quickly, though, the hunter becomes the hunted when you're trying to chase game like Fallen. And now 1v3. They still want to try and take this orb out of his hand if they can. Snax goes in with the peek. They know where Fallen is. And look at this VP, like a moth to a flame, going to be drawn in at the sound of that orb. Has to be careful. Pasha's down there. This is that shot. Fallen's allowed to save.
Really good decision making from VP after a couple of rounds probing around towards that A bomb site, finding out that they usually do have always 3, sometimes 4 players on this bomb site when we hit it. Maybe we should try an early timing towards a B bomb site, and that's the correct call since Taco is playing alone in the first 30 to 40 seconds, and they make that timing work. The question is, will SK Gaming continue to allow this? No, they will not. Cold Sear is now pushing up. So they're playing 2 on that B side, and that's why Taz goes out towards A, but they're getting locked down. Fallen and Fur in unison, picks it up. Snax jumps back. Now, VP, a man down.
Going to be pushing in. Bialy's close, but Phelps is closer as he just waits. Spots that first man. Going to be able to tap away on a Snax. Goes back for more. Was hoping he could have denied the bomb plant there, but wasn't quite able to. Pasha, 2 line up for him, but Fallen's there to refrag, and now it's Bialy 1v3. Spots Fallen on the ladder. Cold coming in from behind. Bialy tagged away, and Cold picks this round up at the end. Solidifies that for SK as they come chiming back in with a 6th. Fallen finding 2, the Catalyst Orb worth its weight in gold for them there. Is there anything that Fallen can't do?
At this point, I actually don't know. He's such a complete player. Play the orb, do the in-game lead in. Very unselfish as well. Always will be the one to throw the flashbang, the timing flashbang to his teammates. Sometimes always the one, or sometimes also the one to go in first, if needed be. Yeah, Fallen just making it work, 14 to 6. But I do like the decision from VP there. They go inside, expose a weakness, and know that SK Gaming are going to instantly try to correct that weakness. While they're doing that, playing 2 on B, then they hit the A bomb site because they believe that, okay, probably going to play 2B now from the beginning. That means that we can play 5v3 in the bomb site. But what they didn't account for was Fallen coming in huge with 2 frags, as we still are waiting to get back into the game after this small pause. The money right now for VP. He's going to allow them to pull out a force buy. Pasha will be on almost full utility, full setup, apart from 2 flashbangs. Snax will have money as well. Neo the same, and Taz and Bialy will probably go for pistols and utility.
I mean, it's a little bit sad to see, right? Because you can tell that Taco doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
Normally, he's so like smiley, so kind of, excitable, and I mean, he was like singing by the pool a couple of days ago. That was fun to witness. He was trying to go for like some opera stuff. He was feeling great. So you kind of see him sat there, and he just doesn't look the same, right?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't have that same aura about him. I really have to admire the fact that he's still playing. I think there are so many teams that if something like that were to happen, they'd just be like, nope, sorry. Goodbye third place, goodbye ESG. But no, I mean, he really wants to come back, obviously.
He's a soldier.
And, SK, one thing that we all know is how determined these guys are. So
yes,
he's carrying on through. Mad respect his way for that. For those you don't know, was diagnosed with mumps, I think, last night. Had to go to hospital and everything. So yeah, I mean, you know, that's not ideal.
Yeah, and it's not like you have some teams, for example, let's say Astralis. We saw Sonic famously step in, not at the last major, but the major before that. Stepped in as Dupree had his problems with the disease. But it's not like Dead can step in, because Dead isn't a former player from that level. Sonic, of course, did have his pro experience. I don't think Dead has had any experience in the level that SK Gaming are currently playing. So it's hard for them if, let's say, Taka could not play. Who would then step in there? They would have to just forfeit the game. But he is playing, and he's not doing terribly, actually.
He's actually doing pretty good, yeah.
7-7.
You know, not bottom of the board, which is always decent. Actually third right now. 7-7, as you say. But yeah, hopefully this pause can be dealt with sooner rather than later. VP had someone drop out.
Yeah, that was Bialy. He got disconnected, and I think he's on his way back. Hey, no analyst desk.
There you go.
There we go.
That's our wonderful chairs. But you know, let's focus on what's at hand right now. As we say, the third place kind of decide a game. Who gets that invite back to the next ESG Tour? And on top of all of that, you know, it's also kind of a case of playing for a bit of pride here, right? I mean, neither one of these teams wanted to end up in this situation. You know, I think both of them in their own right thought they could make it to the finals. VP, they acknowledged that they have been playing quite, you know, bad. Pasha, I believe, yesterday was just like, yeah, we've been pretty shit. That's how he described it. Those were his exact words, right? So VP, I think they came into this still hoping they could do well. You know, and after their run early on, how things went, I think they were fully expecting that they could have tried to secure that spot in the finals.
Yes.
And I think they imagined they were going to be up against SK. So in that sense, they weren't wrong. You know, it is VP versus SK, but it's the battle for third place. And crucially, it's the battle for the next ESG event. Right now, 6-5 is the scoreline. Train, of course, that's the map pick of SK, as you probably would expect. Next up, it's Cobblestone. That's going to be map number 2.
Also, one thing we have to think about, SK, if they lose this, of course, they have, what matters to them is if they win. If they don't win, okay, that's not a win. We don't really care too much if it's a group stage or third place. But I have to say, with the way they got eliminated last night, they're probably thinking, okay, we need to show that we can still bring like a decent level of Counter-Strike. So I think they're actually quite motivated to go and do well in this one. VP, on the other hand, they want to show that they still have it. They want to show that they can still beat great teams like SK. So both teams, despite, of course, this only like the share, it's the same prize money for both teams. They, of course, do get the invite, but also feel like there's pride at stake here. Both teams have something to play for that's not just money.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so we got a train ready. Oh, how nice to clutch you. It's a nice hat. It's good. I like the message. Can get behind it.
Doing a lot of clutches these days, Harry?
Me? Or am I? No.
No.
I
actually remember the last time we played you top ranked.
Yeah, it sounds about right. You know.
Always humble.
When you're playing with the late great analyst, you know, risk GG. It's not difficult to beat, but it shouldn't be too much longer left on this. Who is it? It's dropped out. I think it's Neo. No wait, no, Neo's in the server.
It's still Bialy.
Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't even realize. Yeah, no, I mean SK. They're looking good right now, 6-5 up. That said, I'm actually quite impressed with VP, I'll be brutally honest with you, right? They've taken 5 rounds. One of those was winning the anti-eco that you imagine would have gone the way of SK.
Yes.
Then they go in and take 3 rifle rounds on the back of that. They've just won 2 more. They've almost pulled it back to 6-6 on their T side on train. I think that's pretty scary if you're SK. It's almost like a VP who, that kind of wheel in the plow has started turning. It's not quite a full throttle yet, but my God,
it's getting there.
They've taken it out of neutral, which is where it was, you know?
That's the one thing with SK, or with VP. You always have that fear or that knowledge that they can come back in any game. Even though it doesn't matter how far they go down, they'll always have that chance of coming back.
Well, speaking of coming back,
hey,
we're back into this. VP, they're going to mow down what they can into this round.
Tass on a Deagle. We saw how much damage he could do in last night's game against Mousesports on train as well. Crucial round where he picks up 2 frags. On Ivy, I think it was. This time you will be facing SK. And once again, looks like they're setting up towards this B push. Bialy and Snacks perhaps making some noise here, trying to make SK believe that this is going to be an A push instead. Bialy's actually coming into the back line right now, UMP45, and it's probably the best choice, letting him make the noise here, while the rest of the team with the AKs and a Desert Eagle, ready to push inside. It's going to be Taco and Fur inside, and here we go, Fallen trying to battle Bialy, but Bialy has got a lot of damage here, and 8 HP and Fallen.
Phelps, he's able to open things up. In the meantime, VP, they've gone rushing in to the B bomb site. Pasha gonna go ahead and just be unlimited aggression, and Paco will punish him for that. Taco pulls back, Cold steps up, but then Taz comes in with the trade, and Taco's still trying to get more work done here. Taz rerouted into the site, takes himself a second before Taco does manage the trade, and now it's Neo 1v3. Bomb ticking away here. Has to be cautious. They're just going to try and peek into this all together. Phelps wrapping around to his left. He's the main danger right now as he works his way up on top of the trains. Neo takes that peek out. Going to miss that first shot. It's Fallen, but then he falls to Taco, who comes in with a 3K. The man might not be feeling great, but you wouldn't know it based on how he's playing right now. SK going to go 7-5 up. Another defuse. The bomb plant comes in for VP. This round will be a force buy, down to $2,000.
Yeah, it's such a hard clutch to win as well for Neo in that situation, because you cannot isolate the 3 individual 1v1s that you actually would want in a round like that. They are pushing at the same time. The only thing you can really do is basically try and check the angles and hope that the second you flick over to an angle, that's where they're going to push, and just keep checking the different angles, which was what he did. And then when they came close enough that he could maybe have some kind of sense or audio tell that they were pushing him, he just changed position. Yeah, a little bit of a survey issue, but surely we'll be straight back into the game. And as you said, VP, 3,300 on the richest one. That's Taz. And he'll be maybe buying a Desert Eagle once again. All right, we have a power outage. And I think it's in the VP house, since SK are still at their PCs. VP just stepped away. And yeah, we will not, since we're in the casting booth, but the production crew and all the crew here in Mykonos will be working hard to get that back for you as soon as possible. You're just staring into the void right now.
Yeah, just giving everyone a few brief moments of silence. I think, everyone would appreciate it. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes silence says it all. Right? We don't need to narrate everything. Narration isn't, in fact, even what we should be doing. So,
that's bold words coming from a play-by-play commentator.
While we are in the pause, check out both the Virtus Pro and SK interviews.
Well, I tell you what, I would love to hear how VP and SK are feeling. If only there was some way that we could,
Oh, I would love that as well.
I'm sure that'd be a great way of passing the time, wouldn't it, Niels?
Maybe. Do you think maybe we have a small video prepared? Of course we do. That's what we do here. So let's see what the teams are thinking.
I think that 2017 is a hard year for us. Some might think that it's a very bad year for us, but on the other hand, we already won an event, a big event. We already took second place and third to fourth in the major, which means that we can play to the highest level still, but I think that we lost something in a team, maybe because of too many changes, maybe of, the idea of getting better struck us in a hard way, and we just need to get back to ourselves. I don't think that it's as big issue as everyone thinks, but it's an issue and we need to solve it.
2017, to be honest, it's shittest year in our careers, to be honest, because everyone know we have a good start. We are up, we are down, we are up, we are down, and this year we start up. We go down, we go down, we go down, and still we are we are down. So we will be fighting for being the top again, This is the most important thing of end of the year.
It's kind of really hard for me to tell, since we have never changed the lineup, how it looks like when you take a new player. But from what I've seen, it's like everything seems so nice and fresh at the start, but after a while, every team has problems, and that's typical because it's a team game and you got to work with other guys. And since we know we can be good with that lineup, we know we can just set things straight and work things out within that lineup. So we just try different roles within the team, changing the in-game leader. That changes so much, and that just it's a thing we do.
Before in our career, we have been in a lot of places like this, so that atmosphere we like it most. We love it. Chill, playing, beers, dancing, everything. So 100% focus on game and vacation.
Focus on game and vacation. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Still a bit of a break here, of course. That's how it is sometimes. Sometimes power just goes out. It's not in the player villa as it was yesterday. I think it's somewhere else, maybe near production, because the server did crash.
Yeah, that's never good. But it was actually a really interesting interview, like kind of segment earlier on the desk. I don't know if you caught it. It was with SK. Did you manage to watch any of that?
No, I was in here fixing IPs for the server. So
Well,
no.
it's kind of bad. If only there was a way that we could go back in time and rewatch it. Oh, wait.
Wait,
We've
we
actually
can.
got that lined up for you right now.
I think it's Counter-Strike with some holiday. I really like it to play CS Summit, and coming to play this tournament feels really special to us, at least, because every tournament that we play is the same. Same hotels, cities, and venues. So when you go to a tournament like this, we feel really good. We feel really relaxed. And of course, CS is the first thing that we came to do here. We want to lift the trophy, but also be in an amazing place, in an amazing hotel, amazing resort, with amazing people, makes things better.
Adjusting to Phelps was very difficult at the beginning, and mainly because of the fact that we wanted to adjust ourselves to his gameplay as well. And we tried that in the first couple tournaments. It went very good. First one, we almost won Las Vegas tournament, but then we lost very badly in the second and third one. And after that, we decided that we need to go back to what we think and how we want to play Counter-Strike, because it was working way better before those tournaments. Then it was more about Phelps trying to adjust himself to the gameplay we wanted him to do. And I think this worked pretty well. After CS Summit, we won that tournament and 3 more after that. And the major, I think we were a little bit burnt out, too many tournaments in a row. We should have prepared ourselves a little bit better, but it's tough to prepare better when we're playing 4 weeks for tournaments. So there was a little, I think we could have done something a little better, but when we're winning, sometimes you just don't see that something is necessary. And after you lose, you can understand it and can see it in a different way, but at the time we think it was pretty okay. And right now, with the defeats we have suffered, I think it's pretty okay still. We lost to Australians on the majors, and we lost to G2 on the last tournament, but it felt that we had the match in our hands, and we just had let it slip away. And if you talk about SK and G2, if we went to that position, it's a good sign already, because we have been struggling to beat them, and the fact that we have the match in our hands is a good sign already.
So the beginning was hard to believe, so it's pretty new for me. So it's my first time to play professional. No, I never think about it, so I just make happen and, I don't know, give my best. My favorite memory, probably won the first major. The first major for us is so impactful because we always lose in the finals, so win a major for us is magnificent.
The words from SK getting in themselves. This is really getting to me. Apparently, we have found out that it was not a power outage. It's kind of like a mystery being solved in the making.
Yeah, apparently the internet just like went out in the player area. All the players are back in. We should be going live soon, apparently. So
see if I can retry, because I got disconnected as well. Let's see if the magic works.
It's gotten to the point now where like we've run out of water. You know, it's tricky. But yeah, no, I mean, we're going to be getting back into this one, of course, is the decider for who takes third place. That's between VP and SK, as well as that, perhaps most importantly, as well as playing for kind of the prestige, the honor to say that they beat out one of these other teams. It's also who gets invited back to the next ESG Tour. And, you know, I mean, you know, based on how this one's gone, I'm very excited to see how, you know, where the location is for the next event. I mean, I've heard some rumors, nothing leakable though.
Of course. But yeah, from what I've heard, I haven't actually heard anything, but from what I can understand about the brand is that they want to continue to do like special occasions, because usually always at a CSGO event we have like a convention center, the players live in a hotel nearby, and that's kind of it. But this is, of course, a different experience. And I think it's nice to see someone try a new brand, a new concept. So hopefully this brand can continue and we can get to see more beautiful places like Mykonos at CSGO tournaments. So we're back into the server now. 7-5 for SK Gaming. And hopefully we can bring some hype back into this as VP. Equipped with pistols and utility for this one. SK Gaming full buy. We are lining up. So this is going to be the outside smoke strat. Wall of smokes. The goal here is to get that bomb planted. That's the main goal for VP in this round. Let's see if they can make that happen. Everything falls into play.
They're going to go barreling on out in towards A. Phelps is the man holding it close. They're going to try pushing through. He's going to be just rubbing shoulders with Snax, and Snax will be able to win that one out. Fur tries to do damage, going to have to fall back, and as a result, Fallen steps up. Finds one. Cold. He's going to fall to Taz as Neo goes and takes another. Fallen going to hop in with a PT-50 off his own. Only takes one, though, and Taco left 1v3, makes it a 1v2. And the man is feeling a little bit under the weather here for SK. He's the linchpin in this round, and Pasha, you know, just pry it straight open. VP in with their 6th.
So the goal was to get the bomb down, but they got the round as well. Lots of pistol frags coming in there. CZ 75 proving to be very effective medium to close range. This will allow VP to get the money for another buy-up on SK side of things. So this will be a force buy. 2 UMPs with utility, an AWP on Fallen, a singular smoke behind it, and Cold Sierra with nothing but a Desert Eagle and an armor. Pasha lining up as his team is setting up in their default. This could be another quick play outside. Snax holding back with the bomb as Phelps is here in Pop Dog, ready for the incoming SK team if they decide, or the incoming VP team if they decide to go his way. Taco once more, alone on the B bomb side, first rotating now. That's the timing, as mentioned earlier in this cast. Seems like VP have a good idea of how to do this, as now Fur has rotated in towards B, setting up for the A play.
Phelps lies in wait. Oh, sees the man on the ladder. He's gone again. Not going to be coming down just yet. They realise that there is a man lying in wait, and that's delayed this push quite substantially. Instead, now they're going to look to try and change their sights. Flash down once again. 3 players making their way over here towards B. But the presence of one man alone, as Phelps over in Pop, could have made all the difference here. Start to rotate around Phelps. Here's the players making their way in towards B. Neo's up and rafters. It's going to fall to Taco, and now Fur does land some damage down range. Keeps peeking into this, but Taz actually picks him up there. Down goes Taco as well in this B bomb site. Has come crushing down around them. Bomb plant comes in for VP. And now it's SK. On the clock, damage done to Taz. Fallen lands that shot on the second time around, but it Snax flanking round from behind that could make such a huge difference here. Fallen, he's read this though, going to be holding the angle. Now he's in with 2, and Phelps takes the peak. Pasha left 1 versus 2. Has to try and clutch this one out, starts to make his way down ramp. They tap on the defuse. Phelps is holding the wrong angle, and Pasha's going to play this perfectly. Pasha finds the first. And now Phelps, the only man left, gets the frag, but Pasha's already won them the round. And there we go, VP 7-7, looking fantastic right now.
Really nice from VP that time around. They were battling the guy down towards Pop Dog. Okay, they find out we can't go that way. So what they do is that they fake the A play, 3 smokes and 2 players pushing out. And as that happens, 2 players are allowed to push up a B to get some map control. The first one goes down, but by that time, it's already too late because then they're pushing down lower. It's going to be effectively 4v2 on that bomb side because, or 3v2 on that bomb side because Snacks is doing the long flank. And nice play again in the end. Pasha, everyone expects him to be upper with that Molotov or just an AWP in general. And he goes for the lower peak. Mind games. Another false buy for SK as we reach the last round of the first half. Or mixed buy, I should say. CSET 75, UMP, and AWP on Fallen. Double AWP T-side setup for VP. Pasha and Snacks.
Phelps once again is holding this aggressive Pop Dog angle, going to deny the push in from them. In the meantime, VP, they've sent Bialy and Pasha over here towards Ivy. Fallen does lie in wait on the other side of the smoke. He's going to go ahead and flash through, keeps them away just that little bit longer. Succeeds in keeping VP at bay for the time being. Well, speaking of bay, Fallen within this A bomb site, about to take the peek out onto Pasha. Rounding the corner, Fallen looks away, takes the peek in. Pasha comes up trumps, and now Cold tries to get the trade, but the smoke rains in, and that's going to keep him away. The bomb's still waiting over here at B. 3 players stacked up there, and still with Phelps in this hold in pop. Could deny everything. They bait out the shots. They know that he's there. Tag him away. He now finds himself trapped between a rock and a hard place, and Taz takes the fight to him. A 7-6-2 to the cranium. Knocks Phelps out of this round. Bialy's already on aggressive. Whoop. Good night to Ferb. Taco and Cole there, who remain for SK. Taco does take one. Cole started to worm his way in. Bomb working against them here. Taking on down. Taco does have a defuse kit. But it looks like they're already considering the save here. Oh, wait, last round of the half. That doesn't make sense. Cole pushing on in. Down he goes. Snacks and Pasha pick this round up. And that is going to be VP in with their 8th.
This is, of course, being the map choice of VP.
I
They
tell
are
you
getting
what,
a 1-round lead.
little delays like just really throw me off with what round it is, because it feels like we've had like the little halftime break.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make excuses. It was just bad.
I still like you, Harry. Don't worry.
Thank you. At least someone does.
At least someone does. But yeah, as I mentioned, this is probably going to be incredibly close on all 3 maps because we have Train as the map choice of VP. Both teams are pretty good on that. We have the qualities of a Fallen on this map, and we already see him 18-9. We see how good he can be with the AWP on this. Then next up, we have Cobblestone, which is, of course, the map choice of SK. VP also pretty good on that. Not their best one, but also decent. And then the third one, Inferno, a map that hasn't really found a master yet, as we do have maps in the map pool that certain teams are the best in the world on. Inferno, one of these that hasn't really found a team to conquer. No one is really the champion of Inferno yet, in my opinion. So it's going to be an interesting best of 3, and already now, only 1 round separating these 2 teams. Molotov, 2 flashbangs from Fallen, armor on the rest. Smoke kit on Snacks, as we usually see it. So interested to see what Fallen wants to do here. This could be an explosive play since no smokes are in place, and it's going to be just that.
Gonna come rushing in. SK trying to start this round as they mean to go on. Lots of momentum behind them, but already they've grind to a halt. VP, they've rotated 2 players on round from A. They're going to stick them back, and now the push comes in from SK, charging into the site. Taz able to find 1, but now he's fighting for his life, and somehow he's doing a good job of it. Takes himself 2 before the trade comes in. Bialy holding it close. Phelps finds the frag, and now it is just Pasha. Papa Biceps left in the 1v2. Spots out Phelps. Bomb hasn't gone down just yet for SK. Sees the man up on rafters. Shots raining in from all sides. Has to be careful here. Just going to try and isolate this last player. Find the frag if they can. Push on into it, and Cold picks that one up.
This was such a nice pistol round from SK Gaming. So what they did was, initially it just looked like a quick push B. They show 1 player, and then show, okay, we're probably going to do some kind of execute B, instead of just lining up the smokes, because that was what the CTs were waiting for. They didn't do the full rotate from that. They still had 2 players in connector ready to rotate in if the smokes came in. So they pushed in double flashbang and then Molotov towards connector. That means 2 of the players rotating in from the connector could either decide to go through the Molotov and take the duel, or just wait. Really nice play coming out of SK. The Molotov missed a bit, but the general idea was there, did do some damage. And once again, it's going to be scout for Pasha, pistols for the rest on VP, and they're just pushing in again. If it works,
Pushing into B.
don't fix it.
Taz is in the sight. He's going to fall to Fur. Gold now pounces from this flank in from behind. Cuts off those rotations. They know he's there. I want to try and find this frag if they can, but Bialy not going to be afforded it. Cold. No sign of going down. Pasha and Neo, that's all that's left. They're going to look to try and save. It will be SK to retake the lead in this one. 9-8 in their favor, and they've still got another round after this that you hope they'd be able to pick up to take it to a 10-8 scoreline.
That is the case. Pasha not receiving any damage, and neither did Neo in this one. Trying to find some access around. It's dying out. Won't really succeed in that. SK Gaming go up after, let's just say, not a perfect first half for them. They definitely felt like they could have done more in that first half, but was not the case. Now the step up. On the T side, we know how structured they are on these T sides. We know how much thought they put into it. And these strategies, these timings, all conceived in the mind of Fallen with the help of his teammates. Lining up smokes outside. Knowing they're going to be up against pistols. Going to use your utility. Use the long range of the AKs, and that's the perfect plan here. I don't see this failing.
Yeah, rushing in to the A-bomb site. Charge on through. Snacks is there. Good night, sweet prince. He'll hit the deck. Bomb plan comes through for Phelps. There is still a man in the site. That's Bialy, but hiding in the smokes. Won't be able to get anything done. This round, just a mop up. You'd expect Neo to take one. Actually, that was a rifle he dropped as well, so they could still do more damage from here.
As long as SK picks up this rifle for one of the UMP-45s, it doesn't matter that much. Neo goes down, and now Taz all alone. Probably not going to keep too much into this. See if he can get an exit. Oh, nice shot onto Cole. But no one else is going to be peeking. 2 AK saved. Taz gets out with a UMP-45. 10-8 will be the scoreline.
I think an AK got blown his way at the end there, but he didn't see it.
He didn't get it.
Went past him.
So, Harry, it's 10-8. We have the double op T side coming out for SK Gaming. Cold and Fallen both with 1. No op on the CT side. Taz the only one with full utility and a kit. Do you think VP can actually hold this, or is SK Gaming, are there too much for them? This is usually me who gets those kind of questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't this your job? I mean, like,
yeah,
the double op set up
on
on T side's interesting. Cold and Fallen going to be picking them up as you'd expect, but it's not going to be ideal. Try and find the entries out on some of these closer range angles, such as over towards B, especially when you look at the positions that are being played. Neo in connector, he's the man I think that could get found early through one of these orbs. Seeing as he's playing that connector angle, they don't have one on the side of VP, as you correctly said. And then SK, they're going to be stacked up over here towards B. Bombs there. First holding the push up through Pop Dog.
Another thing is that VP have already spent all their utility, or almost all their utility, as the final lead goes out from Taz. No utility left. 50 seconds to go. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and a Molotov on SK Game. It's just going to be very hard when they decide to execute. I think it's going to be on the B bomb site. Taz is ready, but he only has a UMP-45. Does get the first one. Bomb's now down. Neo with another one onto Fur. Taz not continuing. Fallen close range AWP. 3v4. Still doable for VP here. Oh,
Fallen, he's fallen. And now Cold Zera. Here in Halls has support from Phelps, who's rotated in. Neo gonna go ahead and present himself up to Cold. Phelps rotated out in the meantime. Bialy somehow finds that. Pasha jumps up into the crosshair of Cold's area. They want to try and hunt this frag down. With only 7 seconds left, there's no way for Cold to get back into this round. He has to try and hold on to the AWP if he can. VP. Counter-terrorists win. I'm going to send one man up here. It's Pasha to bait that out. Had the crossfire as well over from Popdog, but it doesn't lead to anything. He keeps the AWP into this round. They've got money, so they can invest here.
Sometimes weapons advantage and utility advantage doesn't always translate into a round win, especially not when the players from VP step up individually and win those tools. Actually, one thing that I kind of wanted to see was Phelpsy tried to go down lower with the flashbang timing. Bialy was actually flashed, but his spray while flashed was perfect. So, like, Phelps just died off to a fully flashed CT player. That's never nice. But it's one of these things that you look back on and you think, ah, that wasn't perfect. Could have done better. 10-9. Buy coming in for both sides, but bank is slowly diminishing for most of the SK players, as we do have 2 players on VP also on effectively 0 money. It's going to be an important one. Round number 20. Cold Zero trying to make it work. Aggressive AWP play will not come to fruition. Down to 42 HP and gets nothing for it.
Pasha's just holding the angle. Fallen, who now isn't looking too healthy, been tagged to 24 HP. Gonna rotate back on round, grabs that bomb. Now starts to line up some smokes into the A-bomb site. Cold able to find one in the meantime. That's Neo to go down, and he's just able to B-hop the hell out of there. Damage is done onto him in the meantime. Look at this from Foe. He's pushed all the way out. Has to be careful because Pasha is holding the fort. Walks around. Pasha misses the shot. The trade had to come through there because now it's a 2-man advantage for SK. In the site, Bialy and Pasha trying to keep SK away from their precious A-bomb site. Time ticking down here, and SK lining up outside of A, ready to head into this one. Phelps and Ivy. 3 players starting to rear their heads from main. Now the push out from Popdog. Pasha takes this initial peek. Now he has to be careful because Phelps has already passed on by, but he's holding the angle. Doesn't lead to anything. And Fur opens up. Pasha's fed Bialy to the wolves, and now it's just him and Taz remaining. Bomb has been planted. Not really left with an option but to save into this round. Unless they get given a foot in the door. Pasha instead going to have the door just slammed onto him as he gets locked out this round. That's going to be SK in with their 11th.
Yeah, that's a very hard round for VP to play because they were effective, or they were in a 3v5 scenario, but instead of just playing together like a team and focusing on maybe playing retake if they go to the opposite side, they isolate Bialy on the bomb side. Pasha can't really help him out. Taz is on the opposite bomb side. There's no way he can help out. And Bialy's pretty much dead because he can just get peeked from 2 different angles, so he's just sitting there waiting to die, basically.
Just like me.
Wow. That was dark, Harry.
Yeah, well, you know, I figured everything here has been nice and bright, and I would you know envelop everything in a shroud of darkness.
Okay then.
And speaking of exactly that, the man who's been so good at enveloping these sites in his shroud of darkness, that's definitely going to be Fallen and Cold. They've been the 2 driving forces behind SK and a lot of these. You can see they've not got enough of the double AWP set up this time. They're kind of the topic of conversation in that regard. Cold Zero, he's the man on the AWP. Interesting enough, they've foregone that on Fallen, who's currently residing on that Galil. Molotov off to hold back any aggression from VP over here at B. Pasha, he's carrying the Catalyst AWP into this round. Taz picked up one as well. So double AWPs for Virtus Pro, hoping that they can be the catalysts in this round.
Right. Also the 2 saved weapons from the last round, and VP decides to buy what they can around it. Not a lot of utility here. Basically, Pasha's loadout, and then Snacks with the smoke and a flashbang. So if SK Gaming just wait out the clock and execute with 30 seconds to go, they'll have an advantage in this one. Bialy. Third. not going to have the duel here. Rotates away. And as I said, like right now they're just waiting and setting up for this execute.
Pash is holding down the push out through A main. Fallen. Looking like he wants to try his hand at getting the entry here. Lies in wait, throws out that initial barrage utility, and it looks like it's all going to be a fake as now they start to rotate around over here to B. They grab themselves the bomb, and now they're ready to go. Keeps these players that are on A from rotating. Bialy, he's the man who can be fast into the back line. Well, now we look at Neo and Taz to hold down the site. Bialy has fallen in through pop. That diverts Pash's attention back round, and Phelps will fall as a result. They've started to rotate off B, and this situation's been read horribly wrong. Good night to Neo as he hits the deck. Aggression comes in from Taco, who goes back for a little bit more. Does tag away at Taz. Snacks looking hesitant as whether or not he even wants to start to push up through Pop Dog. The save call's already come on in for VP, and that's SK Gaming on to their 12th.
I feel like they're playing this T side very well. SK making a lot of timings, the correct timing calls, especially in this one where you can kind of assume that VP are not economically well set. So they just try and wait out the time. So when they eventually execute onto a bomb site, VP are not going to have much utility to stop them. They'll have to stop them with the firepower that they have, and that was not enough in this round. Snacks, Taz, and Pasha, all three of them forced to save. 4 weapons brought into the next round as well for SK. And Taco even taking down Pasha in the end, so economical damage inflicted by SK, and they're up 12-9. And look at the money on VP right now. 2K on almost every single player. Could force up around this, but I don't really see them doing that. They do have a couple C sets, but that's all. Snacks and Pasha have to be the heroes of this one. And that's why Fallen is staying on his skill. Flash comes out. And that was for Cold Zero. We're not following him right now. Of course, we're still with Taco here as he tries to get stuff done. Cold Zero tried to go for the opening peek with a flashbang timing from Fallen. Did not work out. No one really peeking him. Oh, actually, he did do damage, but didn't get a kill. That's a great way to say it. Bialy goes down to Fur. Nice down. Getting close to that A bomb site. Pasha doing good work on the side, though. Taking down Fur.
Phelps has already wrapped all the way around through CT, though, and this could be massive for SK. Taco could easily shut this down. Man to his right, going to be Neo as he bids him a good night. 3-on-3, all equal. Phelps, as we said earlier, he's the man to keep an eye on. Down goes Snacks. Pasha's short to follow, and Neo left in a 1v3. Not much he can do here. Going to be Molotov'd on back. They can't afford to buy into the next round. Could look to try and go for this. Would yield them that much more utility if he keeps the AK up. But if he's given some leeway into this round, then maybe we'll see him try to commit to something. The second Molotov rains in. They hear the impact. They know exactly where he is, and that is the call for Neo to go ahead and get the hell out of there. 13-9, SK starting to take this lead and widen that gap.
Yeah, that's the kind of mentality you gotta have in a 1v3. Always keep in your mind that if you get that one first frag, a 1v2 is still winnable. But the second you're forced out and you can hear the clock going down and you know the timing and you can't get that opening, just get away. There's no reason to push in and lose your weapon if there's no chance of you winning the round. And it's of course a bad round for VP, but Neo plays that perfectly, even though the situation is bad. 13-9 though. Something that isn't bad is the T side of SK here on Train. Actually, they got the bomb down in every round apart from the pistol. Actually, take that back. That was one round, won by time for the CTs. That was the only one they've gotten so far. So 5 bomb plants out of 7 rounds, and 6 of them are wins for SK. Nice spray from Neo. Flashbang. Flashbanged. SK bounce back, tack on Fur. Both of them moved on.
Continuing this aggression in. Taz does manage to drop out Cold Zera. So now we're into that 3-on-3. Bomb, though, hasn't been picked up just yet. It was dropped just moments ago. My Taz on this peek on out. It's going to be retrieved. Fur grabs that. Taz has pushed right through the smoke. They shouldn't see this one coming. Timing allows Fur to pick that up. Thankfully, saves the life of Fallen. And that's why now we're back into this 2-on-2. Neo's on the bomb train. Fallen's holding it down, but Neo comes walking out, gives him that frag. Bialy left in a 1 versus 2. And Fallen reads it perfectly, takes the peak wide, comes in, solidifies that 14th round for SK.
SK looking back on track, they're looking confident. This is the map choice of VP. Afterwards we have Cobblestone, which has been DESK for some time. And it's up to VP to bounce back mentally, because right now they're looking a bit deflated. Neo going for the Catalyst Orb, the rest of the team around 2k. Risky buys, risky times for VP, as they're about to take themselves further down as SK Gaming. 1 for 1 though, Neo bounces back with that orb. Not another one for him, and that's a round gone. 15, Harry. SK about to grab map 1.
Yeah, I mean, SK looking really good. VP, it was looking promising heading into this second half, you know. I thought things would have been closer. But at the end of the day, SK, they've really bought the fight in this second half. There's no denying that. Their T-side has been insane. And we've seen a bit of a trend, really, with a lot of the teams here doing better on T-side train.
Yes.
So now VP, double up, set up to try and finish this off and keep them in this. Gonna be seeing Snacks and Pasha pick these up. Snacks is able to find the first. That's called Zera to hit the deck. And now in response to this, SK...
Taz is alone on B side.
Head over to B. Taz. In the 1 versus 4. Cheeky hiccup there. Has to try and hold down the fort.
Neo has rotated in now.
He's got support, and then also when you look at it, players with AWPs waiting in connector. Taz peeks on out, only managed to get 1. Fallen has somehow pulled this back. As him and Phelps try to secure the site. Fallen peeks wide. Bialy's gone down. Fallen misses the flick, and now it's Phelps left in a 1v2. Has himself the bomb on his back, turns it into the 1v1, and Snacks. This man used to be able to clutch anything. This 1v1 would keep VP in this map. Phelps takes the aggression. He's only on 9 HP. It takes 1 shot from a USP to drop him out. Snacks peeks wide, but somehow Phelps makes it happen. And SK, they'll win this one out, 16-9. They will take train. That was absolutely insane from those boys. That was fantastic.
Definitely. SK Gaming just looking powerful on that T-side. T-side looked like a team that couldn't lose, to be honest. They lost one round on that T-side and powered through the rest of it and looked so